Welcome to Online Gyan Sarovar. Dear learners, today we are going to start a poem How to Tell Wild Animals written by Caroline Wells. Written by Caroline Wells. Caroline Wells. Now, she was a famous poetess of America. She is mainly remembered for her popular mysteries, children's book, and humorous verse. Now, today, our poem How to Tell Wild Animals. This poem basically revolves around the dangerous ways of identifying wild animals. The poetess has distinguished one animal from other in a humorous way. She has described everything in a humorous way. At the same time, she is describing all these things in ironical way. In a ironical way. So here in this poem, the poetess has explained the characteristics of various wild animals in a very funny way. She has explained everything in a funny way. She has used the language in a way it generates humor. It generates humor. It generates humor. Now she is introducing us basically 7 animals through this poem. 7 animals through this poem. And that is, these 7 creatures are 7 creatures, or we can say 7 wild animals. 7 wild animals are, one of them is Asian lion, second one Bengal tiger, third one a leopard, fourth one is a bear, fifth one is crocodile, sixth one is hyena, and seventh one is chameleon. So these 7 wild animals have been described in a humorous way in this poem. The physical description of each animal is very interesting. It is interesting and it is thought provoking. So these two are the important aspects of this poem: interesting as well as thought provoking. The humor is created by various beasts of prey differently, and it is a poem about the strange habits. It is a poem about the strange habits and behavior of these 7 wild animals. Now let us begin this poem from first stanza. Now when I speak about this stanza, let me tell you that this poem consists of 6 stanzas are there. 6 stanzas, and each stanza is divided into 6 lines. So we can say that it has 36 lines in all. 36 lines in all. Now when we talk about the rhyme scheme of every stanza, so we can say that rhyme scheme of this poem is AB, then CC. So this is the regular rhyme scheme throughout the poem. We can check also, see, chance, A, east, B, chance is matching with advance, so again A, beast is matching with east, B, then dine, C, matching with line, so C. So we can say that rhyme scheme of this poem is a regular rhyme scheme, and it is AB, AB, and last we have C. Now let us begin this poem. If you ever should go by chance to jungles in the east. Now the poetess is telling us, the readers, that if we are able to get a chance, if we are able to get an opportunity or chance of going to east. East here refers for eastern countries. Eastern countries. Now she was from America. So here she wants to tell us that eastern countries refers for countries of Europe, or Africa, and mainly Asia. And here she is talking about mostly about Asia. So here, if we ever should go by chance to jungles in the east, so if we are able to get an opportunity to visit forest in the eastern part of the world or eastern hemisphere, and especially Africa and Asia, there we can recognize various animals of these jungles, basically with the help of their voice. So in first stanza, she says that if the reader comes across an animal whose skin is, if there should you go advance, if we advance or if we approach, then if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast, if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast. So in that part of the forest, if a creature, if an animal approaches towards you, and if that animal is very large, it is very majestic, or grandiose, and it is tawny. Tawny here refers for the brownish yellow. Tawny is brownish yellow. So that color of creature is faced by you, then you will know it is the Asian lion. So there you will come to know that yes, it is the Asian lion. So if the people face terrible and ferocious and powerful animal like Asian lion, so this lion will frighten us to death with its loud roar. So that lion will frighten us so much that it will be a kind of death for us only with the help of its loud roar. Or in other words, we can say that yes, people get scared and they feel as if they are dying by hearing the loud roar of this Asian lion. Now when we go closely through this first stanza, we can also see that there are certain figures of speech, like in this line, and if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast. So here we can say that that figure of speech is embellishment, enjambment. Others can be alliteration also, like if should to you advance, o sound is there. So in that sense we can say yes, here that alliteration is there. And one more thing is that poet has also used allusions. What are allusions? Allusions are the references. Allusions are the references to famous famous things, or we can say places, or specific animal, or specific animal. So here we can say that yes, poet is, or the poetess is describing about Asian lion. So this is there in first stanza. Now when we come to second stanza, so in first stanza we have seen that the poetess is describing about the Asian lion. This we have seen. Now in second stanza, she is going to describe about the Bengal tiger. Or if sometime when roaming around, so when you are roaming around, when you are wandering around, a noble wild beast greets you. Now see, the poetess is telling noble wild beast. So on one hand it is wild, on the other hand it is noble. So here we can say it is ironical situation. Ironical situation, because poetess is telling noble, at the same time she is telling wild also. So if we are wandering around, and it may be possible that we will be greeted, we will be welcomed by a noble and wild beast with black strips on a yellow ground. So if we see, or if we are welcomed by a creature which has black strips on its yellow body, ground here refers for body, or we can say skin. So just notice, if he eats you, the simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. So there is a only simple rule, that if that Bengal tiger notices you, if that Bengal tiger sees you, then this would be sufficient. Only black stripes and yellow ground, or black stripes on yellow skin would be sufficient to tell you that this is Bengal tiger. So this is the simple rule which will help you that it is the Bengal tiger to discern. Discern means here to make out, or you will just notice it, without any difficulty. It may be possible that you may not be able to see that Bengal tiger clearly, but only with the help of these black stripes on a yellow skin would be sufficient to tell you that yes, it is the Bengal tiger. So once again, Bengal tiger is a illusion. It is a illusion. Illusion is there because once again the poetess has used that it is a reference to specific animal. This we can see. Now let us move on to next stanza, and that is third one. If strolling forth, strolling means here when you are walking slowly, or we can say walking slowly in a casual way. So if strolling forth, a beast you view. So when you are walking casually, and if you see a wild animal, if you come face to face, whose hide with spot is peppered. Whose hide here refers for whose skin, or we can say body. So whose body is covered with spots. whose body is covered with spots. As soon as he has leapt on you, leapt means here jumped. So as soon as that wild creature jumped on you, you will know it is leopard. You will know it is a leopard. So as soon as that animal or that creature, that wild animal will leap on you, just at that time you will come to that yes, it is a leopard. So this is the third animal which the poetess is describing in a humorous way, at the same time in a ironical way. So it will no good to roar with pain. Now the poet is telling that it will be of no use. It will be of no use to roar here, to cry or to shout with pain. It would be useless to shout with pain, because the moment he sees his prey, we are the prey. So the moment he sees his prey, he will pounce. He will pounce. He will pounce upon. He will pounce upon it. So there is no escape. There is no way to escape from it. To escape from it. There is no way by which we can escape from it, or it would be useless. And in simple way we can say that yes, that lion or that leopard will tear us apart. It will tear us apart. It will tear us apart. So he will only leap and leap again. So once again it will only jump and jump, and in this way it will kill its prey. Now let us move on to next. So next stanza is the fourth stanza. Next one is fourth stanza. Now in fourth stanza we can say that yes, if you were walking around your yard, then you meet a creature there, walking your yard in your area, you meet a creature there. So at that place, you will meet a creature. Be sure it is a bear. Be sure it is a bear. So you will come to know that yes, when you meet a creature in your yard, and that creature who just hugs you very hard. So this is the characteristic of a bear, that when this bear hugs you very hard, so at that time when this creature hugs you very hard, then you will be sure that it is a bear. And if you have any doubts, I guess he will give you just one more caress. He will give you one more caress. Caress here is the gentle touch of love and affection. So if you are walking in the yard area, if you are walking in the yard means we can say lawn, or in your garden, then you meet a creature which hugs you tightly, and be sure that it is a bear. Then the poetess further adds that if we are still in doubt, then regarding the animal, the easiest way is that he will keep hugging and touching you very gently, and this act of his will make you sure about its identity, that it is a bear, and you will come to know that yes, it is a bear. So I hope this is clear to you. So caress is a gentle touch, of to show love and affection, So we can say that yes, friendly hug of this animal, friendly hug of this animal sometimes leads to fatal results, and that is death. So this gentle hug, friendly hug, will lead our death. So again we can say that here ironical is there, that one hand poetess is talking about gentle hug, and on the other hand that gentle hug is very hard and it will lead to our death also. So next we are going to move on to next paragraph, and once again we can pay attention to our rhyme scheme, that same is there, AB, and last one we can have C also. Then after rhyme scheme, again here also in this we can say that yes, alliteration is there. And what is that alliteration? That W sound is there. When walking, that is there. So W sound, who hugs. Then use of B sound in bear. So this B is there. So B sound is there, and here we can say W sound is there. Now let us move on to next stanza, and this says that though to distinguish beasts of prey, a novice might nonplus. Novice here refers for an inexperienced, or we can say innocent. This can be there, or a person who is very new. Mostly it is new to a job, but here it is about the inexperienced. So if you are inexperienced, so only a inexperienced person might nonplus. Nonplus here refers for the only a inexperienced person will be puzzled, or will be confused between what? Between the crocodile and a hyena. Only an inexperienced person, only an innocent person, only a person who is new, he will be puzzled, he will be confused, he will be surprised between the characters of a crocodile and a hyena. The crocodile will always may tell from the hyena thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles. Hyenas, no, they are very much merry, means they have happy smile. They have happy smiles. At the same time, their smile is happy, but their happy smile deceives us, deceives the victim. Victim is mostly deceived by happy or very happy smile of hyenas will deceive the victim or prey. But if they weep, they are crocodile. Then what is the characteristic of crocodile? Crocodile pretends to be weeping. Crocodiles, no, they pretend that as if they are weeping. They are weeping. But before attacking and killing their victims, crocodiles weep a lot, or they pretend as if they are weeping. So this is the distinguish or differentiate between a hyena and a crocodile. That hyenas, they have a happy smiling face, they are laughing, but they are laughing or they are feeling happy only to deceive the victim. On the other hand, crocodiles, they pretend to weep in order to attack and kill their victims. So here also we have seen that yes, how there is a difference between a hyena and a crocodile. Next stanza, last one, last 6 lines. The true chameleon is small. See, true chameleon. Again we can say a kind of juxtaposition is there. And again ironical situation is there. Ironical situation is there, no? True chameleon. Now we all know that yes, chameleon is never true because it keeps on changing its color. It changes its color. So how it can be true? So the true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. It is like a lizard only. It is only like a lizard only. He hasn't any ears at all. It doesn't have a ears and not a single wing. So it doesn't have ears and wings. It doesn't have any ears and wings. But we can say that yes, chameleon, they can change their color according to their background, or we can say surrounding area, or according to their surrounding area. They can change their colors, which helps them to escape from danger. So if there is nothing on the tree, it is the chameleon you see. So if you notice on a tree that there is nothing on it, be sure that on a tree, even there, when it is sitting there, when it is there, this chameleon is there, then we will not be able to see that yes, chameleon is there, but it is present. It is the chameleon you see. You will notice that it is the chameleon, because we will not be able to see. We will not be able to see or notice that chameleon is there because this chameleon is expert. It is very expert in camouflage. So because of this, it can escape from its danger. So I hope this poem is clear to you, because in this poem we have seen that yes, 7 creatures of nature have been explained by the poetess regarding their behavior, regarding their strange habits of these wild animals. And at the same time, we can also say that yes, poetess has created a humor by the use of words and the way emotions of the wild animals are described in this poem. So this funny description of ferocious animals not only entertains and rejuvenates our troubled spirits, but also gives us much needed respite from our monotonous routine and help us to face life more positively. Thank you.